You know who's not an asshole? You know who's not someone that everyone looks at like a piece of shit. In fact, rather, they look at him in a completely different tone. They look at him, I've heard words like national treasure. I've heard words like your favorite uncle. I've heard words like beloved. Beloved. That is, of course, Ron R-Truth. Ron the Truth Killings has been released from WWE, question mark. I'll leave that out there in the open. Because there's a million different ways that this can go. I don't know why everybody's with the crocodile tears. You know, they were doing it on Raw. We want truth. I'm like, oh, now you want truth? Oh,
They've always wanted truth.
They've always liked him. They've always liked him.
There hasn't been truth hate.
No, but there hasn't been truth support either. They like him.
There has.
No. They love truth like people love shit that's in their closet that they haven't seen in 12 years. It's like, I want to have it.
It's my favorite shirt.
Yeah,
I can't fit it anymore.
I don't want to use it. I just want to continue having it right here in the back. He's like, I haven't played hockey in 12 years, but I'm not getting rid of that stick. It's right there.
I still have my Williamstown High School football jersey that I refuse to throw away. Yeah, that's my R-Truth. I don't want to fucking throw it away.
Right, but what use does it have for you at this point?
It makes me happy.
It makes me happy.
What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
It makes me happy.
Some other there's tons of other trash you could throw out.
not any that are making which is let's talk serious business for just a second.
I'm as serious as fucking humanly possible.
No. Everyone's being serious about their fucking feelings and emotion. No one's being serious about the business side of it. That's the only issue. Because if you want to sit here and tell me that you're upset that they're letting him go because you're a fan and you enjoy his work and you find him to be hilarious and the whole show, I'm going to give you all that. It's 100%. If I was running WWE, I wouldn't get rid of him either. However,
or would you? Because you sound like you're about to.
No, I'm not. Just because I understand something doesn't mean I agree and I would do it. I would not do it. If I was in Triple H's position or if I was in TKO's, Emmanuel, whatever his name is, or Nick Khan or any of these individuals, if I had to make a choice, if I'm looking down a roster list of people and I'm like, okay, TKO wants me to make some cuts, make some budget moves. Who are we not using? Do we know we're not using in the future? Like, if I'm going down the list, I'm skipping Ron every time. In my eyes, for as long as Ron wants to be here, his ass is here. Because it's not like he's moving any of the stories, right? He's not in your main event. He's not in your opening match either. He's kind of always somewhere in the middle doing something the fans really, really enjoy watching. So, I wouldn't do it. But if you look at the
doesn't he move merch? He's profitable.
He just recently moved merch. That Ron Cena shirt people were trying to get. He has what? I have to ask this: what merch? What merch have you seen of his? He had the what's up.
Imagine he has shirts.
He's had the same catchphrase for 20 years. The what's up deal, which that's been on shirts before, and he's sold those. He had some Little Jimmy shirts about 10 years ago or so. He's done some stuff, but it's
like you're
good.
It's like you're trying to hate on him right now, dude.
How am I trying to hate on him when I just said I would keep him? I would keep him. I'm just saying, as a businessman, I see it because also there's another shining number that we need to talk about, which is the number 17. He's been here this current run because in 2000. Was it 2000 or 2001? I can't remember which one it was. He was K-Quick for like 2 years. Then he left. It was 2000 now that I think about it. He went to TNA, did his whole thing over there, became world champion, did the whole shebang, and then he came back to WWE. That's the second run, which is the one that just ended, and that was for 17 years. He's been with his company for 17 years. And
which leads me to my thought.
Right.
He wanted to be released.
There might be an element to that. I wouldn't put it past.
I feel like he wants a break.
Yeah.
Like him, like releasing him, like it's more like I feel like it might have been like a mutual thing. I don't see, especially coming off of the whole Cena thing. Like I know you can say like it's one moment, but
Right.
he's hilarious all the time he's on the TV. Then he had this really awesome moment. It was so weird to see that after our last pod about like just going off of like how amazing it was and how like we're gonna miss him when he's gone, and now he's fucking gone.
Yeah, he was gone almost immediately. So really, the person to blame is you for jinxing it.
What? For bigging him up?
For saying, oh, we're gonna miss him when he's gone, and then they said, oh, okay, cool.
Boy, you're gonna like this one.
Yeah. We're a spoiler. So we're hearing rumor now that apparently it's been in the books for a minute that he wasn't going to be re-signed. So people also forget, before WrestleMania, where we were at, Philly, before WrestleMania 40, he was gone for a while. He had been injured or something like that. He had taken some time off, and when he came back, the way that he was treated when he came back, I think is kind of telling, because he got a chance to do a lot of freestyle shit. They were just letting him just fucking go. Okay, what are your ideas? What do you want to do? So he was doing stuff with Damian Priest. He was doing stuff with the Judgment Day. He was working with DIY. Everything hilarious, right? So he's in the Judgment Day. He's not in the Judgment Day. He kicked out members of the Judgment Day, but he'll wrestle for a spot in the group he's already in. And then he switches to DIY, which he keeps confusing for DX. He keeps calling Tommaso Ciampa Triple H. He keeps calling Johnny Gargano Shawn Michaels, to the point where that got over so much they actually wore DX gear at WrestleMania, the one we went to. And remember, the story leading into WrestleMania is that R-Truth had never had a win at WrestleMania in his entire career. And then they won the tag titles in Philly with us. And so, like, little by little, they've been giving him these little milestones. And then, of course, the big ending at the end, John Cena taking one of the matches from his farewell tour and having R-Truth in that match. And if anything, this kind of puts an end to the long-term storyline between these two. It's kind of been building up, and now we're here. A few weeks before his actual release, I don't know if anybody else was paying attention. I was, because it popped up on my feed and it popped up on my wife's. He just recently released like a rap country song. Like he's doing new music. He hasn't done any new music in a long time. He just recently put out a new song. There's talk of an album. He's putting music together again, which is something he hasn't done in years.
I think this is mutual.
I think this. Now here's another element that I'd like to throw into the bin real quick, just for people to kind of chomp on for a minute. So far, and maybe this is more a sign of respect than we think, the only people that have mentioned that he is gone from WWE is him. WWE hasn't mentioned a fucking thing about him being gone. They haven't mentioned it on TV. They haven't mentioned it on their website. The only source that anyone has so far about his release is his tweet. So there are some people who are saying, well, maybe he's fucking with us, right? Maybe he'll be on TV confused about what it is or something like that, like he normally does with his goofy self. But it wasn't on Raw, so it could very well be a shoot and be the whole shebang. There's been a few other ideas pitched, like he goes on to AEW's program and welcomes everybody to Monday Night Raw in a confused state. Or he goes back to TNA after all these years, but he returns in like a dream sequence. He wakes up. Like, Ron, what have you been doing this whole time? Oh, my bad. Have I been asleep this whole time? Damn. It's like, I'm here to compete for the NWA World Title. It's like, no, we don't have the NWA World Title anymore, Ron. It's just the TNA World Title. The NWA has their own show. Or he can show up on the NWA show. Whatever the case, there's so many options for him if he wants to do something. But me, personally, I think I'm vibing with you. I just think he wants to do some other shit. Do something else. And people were also leaning on the idea that he started removing WWE stuff from his Twitter account. And then almost immediately after that, so did The Miz and so did Gunther. So everybody was like, oh, shit. Are they going too? And then Carlito's officially gone. They gave him the best exit ever. That shit was so funny on Monday. I was crying laughing when I saw that shit on Monday. And Carlito immediately went back to Puerto Rico and won their world title down there. So he's back doing his thing over there. Did you see Monday?
No, I haven't seen it.
So the Judgment Day are in the back. And you know when the Judgment Day are in the back, either Carlito and Dom or Carlito and JD or the three of them together, somebody's usually playing WWE 2K on the PlayStation. They're usually playing in the background, right? One of the games. And so this week, Dom was wearing Carlito's shirt, but when they went to the back, there was no more PlayStation. So it was explained online that when Carlito left, he took his PS5 with him. So they don't have anything to play now until somebody coughs up the money for a new fucking system. Carlito left and he took his fucking PS5 with him. I thought that shit is great. Oh my God. People were acting like their grandfather got shot. Like there was some real genuine fucking anger on the idea that R-Truth is just not there anymore. And I have to ask the question, right? Let's say, because you're saying that it was kind of mutual. I kind of agree with that. Let's say that it wasn't. Let's say that he was released kind of against his will. He didn't really want to leave, but they're kind of making him kind of scenario, right? If not now, at 53 years old, 17 years in the company, when? When are all of you going to be comfortable with him not being here anymore?
Never.
Short answer, never. Like
never.
Like okay. Deadpool to Hugh Jackman till you're 90. That's it. You're just gonna keep fucking doing it over and over and over and over. So yeah, I'm happy for the guy. I really am. I sometimes forget how long he's fucking been here. It's been a long fucking time. He has seen a lot of people fucking come and go.
Hey, he's developed a formula where he can do it, or can, if he wants to, can continue to do it, because he's found a way to be entertaining and still work in the ring. Not as much, but when he does work, he works.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's just tired. Maybe he's just tired of it. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't have fun with the gimmick anymore, but he's not like gonna ruin it, let it go out the way that it does. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I feel like he'll come back eventually. We'll see.
You know, if he went to TNA, they have the working relationship. He could not miss a single Raw, and just somebody else is paying the contract. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll have to see.
And they can still do it. They can still put him on or whatever, and he can still do his thing. And that would be it. You know? But yeah, there's a lot of people. Here it is right here. I got it in front of me. The tweet from Ron Killings, at Ron Killings on X, formerly known as Twitter, which is an even longer name than just Twitter. I'm sorry to inform you all, I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for all the love, support, and appreciation you've given me over the years. Thank you. Which, again, I think that's a bad choice of words from Ron, because that's the choice, that's the word that everyone's hanging on, released. Because his contract is coming up. People are acting like he was terminated with years left on the deal. Like, he was already kind of 1 foot out the door already. It wasn't like they fucking fired him on his wedding day or on Christmas morning. People just gotta fucking relax, dude. And then there was word going around, well, now that Truth is gone, the locker room feels some type of way. Like, nobody's safe. Anybody can go. Good! You know, for a lot of my life, being in the WWE 10 years was a really hard thing to do. I remember when they made a big deal out of it when Taker did it. The Decade of Destruction in 2000. He was like, yeah, 10 years. They had like a whole episode wrapped around the fact that he was there for 10 years. That shit felt like forever. No one did that. No one was in the WWE for 10 years. Now everybody who's in the WWE has been there for fucking 10 years. They just celebrated 10 years of Finn Balor. The New Day has been in the fucking WWE for fucking forever. Kofi Kingston is on his 20th year, for God's. Kofi fucking Kingston has been in WWE for 20 fucking years. Kofi Kingston. Yeah, I'm letting that one hang. Think about that for a goddamn second. Kofi
know how to take care of their talent now.
Kingston. Meanwhile, we have a wave. A strong wave of some young talent about the influx on the main roster. I know people are not going to want to hear this. But we got a few other old heads on the fucking roster. I'm not saying fire everybody. I'm just saying keep a tally. Right? AJ Styles is already telling everybody, I'm done in like a year or two, guys. He's telling you. He's not wrestling in his 50s. And he's 48. So he's telling you guys ahead of time. Y'all was surprised by Ron. But AJ's telling you he's out. I know sometimes it's hard to put into your head. But like, remember when Rollins and Reigns were the young guys? They're the old guys now. They're old. Seth Rollins has back and knee issues from years of beating himself into the fucking concrete. Roman Reigns is already looking to Hollywood. That's a done deal. We're out here talking about Street Fighter now. Like, there's options on the table. Motherfuckers is looking for other things to do right now because they're the old heads now. That's why Seth Rollins is leading a group of young talent. This has got evolution written all over it. That's why they're doing it this way. A lot of this are all The Miz. You know, everyone started panicking. Oh, my God, they're not going to get rid of The Miz. What if they did? What if they did? What happens to the company? Nothing. We move forward. We push some other people. There's a lot of spaces being taken up.
I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair with The Miz because out of all those people you named, no one works with the younger talent more than The Miz.
Fair. You are correct. For a while now, it's kind of been the process. When you get called up, for whatever reason, you start working with The Miz almost immediately. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what happens when that call-up happens? They beat The Miz over and over and over like a fucking Indian drum. How many more of those overs can he give where it means anything? Aleister Black just came back out of nowhere. He beat The Miz. Does anyone give a shit that he beat The Miz? There's only but so many times that you can do that before you lose your steam. He's lost his steam. He's been around for so long. If he wins, it doesn't even matter anymore. Does anybody even remember that he just won the WWE Championship like 2 years ago? Or 3 years ago? When was it that he beat Lashley? I can't remember now. I know it was after the pandemic. He won the WWE Championship. No one gave a fuck. So, it's diminishing returns. It's the problem with longevity. When you have longevity, you need to be able to evolve and freshen things up. Miz has been the Miz for 20 years. He hasn't really evolved that character at all. He hasn't done anything new with it. He hasn't changed it up at all. He's either been a babyface version of that character or a heel version of that character. He's never really changed it up.
Well, listen, I'm with you, but at the end of the day, like, my argument goes the opposite direction. If you're gonna fucking do that, you need to start getting rid of the Charlottes and the Baileys and if you want to talk about the people we're talking about are working mid card.
Right.
I don't think there's a problem working mid card. Mid card is a very important place to work.
Yeah.
But when you're suffocating the top, that to me is more of a problem. That if people don't want to see you win, not because you're a heel, but because they're obviously fucking sick of you, to me, that's more of a problem than a Miz who's trying to work with talent. That's where I stand with it. So I don't disagree with you. If you're gonna trim the fat, that's fine. They've been here for 20 years. I mean, are we really getting a push out of you anymore? That's fine. Get rid of the fucking Charlottes. There's no reason why the man is coming in after being away for a full fucking year and winning a belt or even being put in that position.
Well, I don't think she's going to win the belt, which is a conversation for another day.
I just mean general.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Charlotte going into the Rumble, I feel like Charlotte's going to win that Rumble.
If you're going to tell me, hey, based on that logic, you need to get rid of Charlotte and Becky, I'm co-signing. I put Bayley in the Miz category because Bayley has been working with the younger talent in the ring and outside of the ring. She's trying to help the next generation, even including going to NXT herself and doing a few jobs to get them over and get more experience. So if you,
all right, Bayley was a bad call. I will admit that Bayley is a bad call.
But I understand the logic of what you're saying. And if Sasha Banks was still there, if you would have moved Mercedes back into I would have done the same thing. She's in there with the Charlotte and the Becky Lynches, and you know who else you can probably put in that category of someone who's been there for a very long time but worked so hard with the talent? Natalya. Natalya has found her spot. She's a coach. She gets on TV every now and again.
They got rid of her off the screen
a while ago. Right, but she's embraced that. So because she's embraced that,
you kind of have no choice.
I mean, you do have a choice. You can tell them to go fuck yourself and go live your life, but she loves the WWE. No. So that's what I'm saying.
She likes to be abused.
She likes to get smacked around. It's not the doorknob. It was his hand. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, no, there's a lot of situations. Listen, this is – I know people don't want to go through that experience of saying to themselves, I'm not that old. I graduated. Oh, shit. Yeah, exactly. It happens. It happens. We're getting older. It's time for a changing of the fucking guard. That's all that it is. That's all it really is. Everybody got upset because I don't think anybody who got upset over R-Truth really, truly, genuinely gives a shit about R-Truth. It made them feel old. Because there's not many few left.
No, I'm not going to let you get that
No. There's a lot of people who are feeling that.
I didn't even think anything about fucking age.
You didn't.
Like, I didn't realize he was old.
You didn't. That doesn't mean
mention
the rest of the. You mean you didn't realize he was old? You didn't know R-Truth was old until just now.
I said I didn't realize. I wasn't thinking about it.
Right, but others have.
Sure, yes, he was old, but that's not what was coming in my that's not what was popping up in my head.
Right, you. There's other people in the world who are complaining about this, who are using that exact example when they say, "Oh, they're trying to ruin my childhood." That's what that is. That sentence right there is it reams with I hate getting older. Whenever you hear anyone ever say the phrase, they're ruining my childhood, that's a person who is deathly afraid of the idea that they're getting older and that the stuff that's coming out is no longer for them because they're not the up-and-coming person anymore. Now they're approaching over the hill. I have 42 fucking years old. Every year after this, it just goes more fucking downhill. These people, I've been watching wrestling my whole life. They're not making wrestling for me. I have to find my own sense of joy in what I'm watching because they're not gearing it to me. They don't give a fuck about me, 42. They gave a shit about me when I was 12 and when I was 18 and when I was 21, maybe a little bit when I was 30. But they don't want me. You know who they want? They want Alex. That's who they want. They want the new me. They don't want me. They want the new me. So he could put his fucking money into the WWE later on. Now, R-Truth, to his credit, has gotten over gangbusters with all generations. But we don't know who the next R-Truth is going to be until we remove R-Truth. Just like we don't know who the next Seth Rollins is going to be until we get the next Seth Rollins in here, or the next Roman Reigns, or the next any of these fucking guys. We don't know. Back in the old days, 80s and 90s, these motherfuckers would wrestle until they were 80 years old and everything broke on them. We're living in an age now where you shouldn't be in that position. The problem is that a lot of these athletes are serious athletes, and they don't want to get off the field. They want to play until it's over. I don't know how much longer I have to play on the field. I want to play the games. Now the organization is saying, no, time's up. Go live your life. They're protecting you from yourself. Go live your life. Go do what you're going to do. We're going to make some money on our own, do our own thing over here. NXT's, we don't watch it. But I've seen enough to know that NXT right now is cooking. There's a lot of shit happening down there. There's a lot of fucking people. And then you throw in the TNA thing. Our boy Drastic, Mike Santana, getting wins on NXT. Like, shit's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something rumbling under the surface. There's a lot of conversation right now in the internet wrestling community that, you know how they always consider the Attitude Era like a boom period? Where, like, things, like, really got hot and popular for a while before it kind of regulated again? Mm-hmm. There's a smell in the air of this wave that's coming. There's such an influx of new faces and talents and all kinds of things that it's got people really, really excited. So you're either going to swerve into it, like Seth Rollins is right now, or you turn into, you know, the guys on the sideline. It's one or the other. I love R-Truth. I personally would have never cut him just based on what he can do for my locker room alone. But I don't know what his salary is. I don't know if I want to pay a guy 6 figures a year to be a good locker room guy. I'm thinking maybe I'll get another good locker room guy for half the price. I mean, I know that sounds rough, but that's what business is. Unfortunately. Yeah. So it is what it is. Business. It's business.